President Macky Sall of Senegal now says he promises to hold the election that he delayed. But the question is, what is the motive behind this? Is this true? Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent. Now let's dive into it. On Friday, President Macky Sall announced that he promises to hold the elections that he came and said because of there are some things inside the candidates, the presidential candidate list, the 20 presidential candidate lists that were selected to run for presidential for president. Then because of that, he came and said that he has postponed the election until December, the end of this year. So that happened in the beginning of this month, and there was a lot of chaos that happened, okay? But now what is the motive for him to come in to tell the Senegalese people or to the African people this, like, can we believe him? Because there are things that he did before. For example, he came in July. All this started to happen when he introduced that he will run for a third term by doing a coup against the constitution. Then there was a lot of demonstration, and then he came. He said he will run. He will not run for the third term, and then there was a bit of a calm, and then now he said this. So is this true? Can we believe him? So let's go and assess what he says, okay? Look, this is what came out. The Senegalese president, Macky Sall, on Friday said he would fully abide by a court decision that overturned the postponement of the presidential election to December, the end of this year. Okay, now pledging to hold consultations to organize the vote as soon as possible. Now that vote was planned to be on 25th of February. Now his decision to come and to say he has postponed election, this bill actually has pushed back the 25th February election to December, delaying it by 10 months, and then it has plunged the country into electoral uncertainty and also chaos that brought a lot of Senegalese to the street, and he has seen what this would mean, but still, he took a risk, and he came he had the nerve to say that. Now there were demonstrations against the delay of this announcement when he announced this, but then when he knows this, he came and then he said, oh no, he will hold the election, okay? Now, just to give you a bit of background, as I say, it all started when he announced that he will run for a third term that's a coup, literally against the constitution. Then for months, the Senegalese was on the street, and there were a lot of cases. People have been killed. Then he came in July, and then 2023, he said he will not run for a third term. Then there was calm again in Dakar and also the rest of the country. Now the election was scheduled for 25th of February, and the presidential campaign to start on 4th of February. Just on the eve, on the 3rd of February, he came and he said the election has been postponed. Can you imagine? Okay, now that the reason was there were 20 presidential candidates, and in those he has, there are some mischiefs, that's something that he didn't like, basically, okay? And now again, on the 16th of February, just before the demonstration that was, planned to be held because of the postponement of the election, he came and he said, he promises to hold the election. But can we believe him? Because certainly there's a pattern in this man. He said something, he will say something, and then he kind of, cancels that out, and then knowing that exactly what will be the consequence. Okay. Now I want to share this slides. As I always do, I do my research before I come here, and let me just give you a quick background and why do I say that? What is the motive behind it, and why? What am I suspecting? Okay, now this is President Macky Sall. Okay, so this is the very known Osman Sonko, who is, the opposition leader, and because he has a lot of followers, and it's like people are really sure that he will win the election, and they put him in prison for this reason. And now, when the presidential candidate list came out, the 20 presidential candidates, actually, Osman Sonko is out of it, and also Abdullahi, the son of Abdullahi Wade, I forgot his name, the son of the previous president of Senegal, his son is also out of these candidates. But what is interesting, I mean, you might ask that, okay, if Osman Sonko is not in the list, then why President Macky Sall says that there are some mischiefs, there is something wrong with the presidential candidate list? Why? Because Osman Sonko, he has, he's out of this picture, but he has appointed this guy. His name is Bisaru, if I am not mistaken. Let me just, if I pronounce it very good, his name is Bisaru Diomaye Faye. Okay, Diomaye Faye. Let's take it with that. Now, he is appointed by Osman Sonko. Look, this is a promise, the process that he's putting for him. So this is the guy. Now, the people who are following Osman Sonko, who were about to vote for him, are following this. Now, his name, Diomaye Faye, his name is in the presidential candidate list. Now, Macky Sall, on his turn, this is Diomaye Faye, Macky Sall, they have a lot of followers, this political party led by Osman Sonko, but now Diomaye Faye. Now, Macky Sall, when he announced that he will not do the third term, then he introduced his prime minister. He's in his government, Amadou Ba. His name is Amadou Ba, to be his successor. Okay. Now his name is also in the list. Now Macky Sall knows that there is a very little chance for Amadou Ba to win because Diomaye Faye of Osman Sonko successor will have the big vote, that will have a bigger chance to win the election. This is why he says there's something wrong with the presidential candidate list, so that he postpones, for the sake of the security of Senegal, that he postpones the election. But he knows exactly what the people want. If you give what the people want, there will not be no chaos. There will not be no demonstration, okay? There will be a demonstration and the chaos when you deny what the people want. That's exactly what this is, Amadou Ba. Now, what is, the interesting thing is, let me just read, the political party of Osman Sonko and now Diomaye Faye is called, this is the name of the political party, it's called the African Patriots of Senegal, the African Patriots of Senegal for Work, Ethics and Fraternity. In French, it's called Patriotes Africains du Sénégal pour le travail, l'éthique et la fraternité. Okay, and in abbreviation in English, it's PASTEF. That's how it's known. Now, this is actually now the political party of these people. Now, their vision is, Osman Sonko and Diomaye Faye, their vision is, look, this is what is afraid of. Now, I'm answering what is the motive behind for Macky Sall to say this, because he knows that exactly the winning of Diomaye Faye, this election will mean that automatically to add Senegal into the African, alliance of the Sahel states, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, which is, this is what it means, okay? Now, this will mean automatically, it will add, this will mean automatically, look, it will add, just a second, here, okay? This is what it means. It will add, this is Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Now you see Senegal. You see where Senegal is now? These countries are, these Sahel states are landlocked countries, okay? Now this is Senegal. It will give them a sea access. Now Senegal will be added, will be part of the Sahel Alliance. And Senegal was a major partner of Bola Tinubu and ECOWAS to do, on the front line to intervene militarily in Niger, even to contribute military. Macky Sall is obedient, just the errand boy of France. He's doing what France wants. Now, France definitely do not need the election of Osman Sonko or the guy that he appointed, Diomaye Faye. They will know exactly Senegal will be out of their colonization, because their aim, their objective is for Osman Sonko and Diomaye Faye primarily to decolonize Senegal. Decolonize from where? From who? From France, from Macron, from Macron's administration, from Paris, running Senegal in Africa. Do you know what? Do you understand? This is what these countries are fighting, and now Senegal will be added. And Diomaye Faye, we will see the picture of Diomaye Faye next to these leaders, next to Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, General Abdourahmane Tiani of Niger, and Colonel Assimi Goïta of Mali. Now we will see here Diomaye Faye and Diomaye Faye directly adding Senegal to this decolonizing the country and, getting that economic freedom, bringing that economic freedom for Senegal. This is what they're afraid, okay? Now, the question is, what is the motive behind for the President Macky Sall to announce this now? Because he knows now what the consequence, what the people are going to do. The demonstration will go and go, and it will not stop on one day. Then that will bring a chaos. And, people have urged him, and even ECOWAS, and they know exactly what is going on, but they are trying to do, just what is expected on the pretext, what's expected from them. Now, the thing is, what is the question is, what is the guarantee that he will hold this promised election as soon as possible? Now, holding it on the 25th of February is out of the question, because, it's just 25th February is in a week time, okay? But even if he says so, people are demanding to hold it before 2nd of April, in which his second term will end exactly on 2nd of April, okay? What a coincidence, right? So they want him to hold it before that. Now, this will mean, of course, for Diomaye Faye, he will win the election as anticipated, okay? Now, France will not late to do this. And guess what? Actually, President Macky Sall himself has given us a hint what will likely to happen. Okay, now when people talk about the Pan-Africans and the activists were saying that France is planning a coup in Senegal, it's not out of the blue, it's not out of nowhere, because this came out of his mouth. Look at what he's saying, okay? Let me just share this video with you now, just a second, and then we will, I let you to hear. It's just less than 1 minute.
Oui, mon rôle en tant que président de la République, pour le temps qu'il me reste à la tête de l'État, c'est de toujours tendre la main et de dire aux acteurs politiques, faites attention. Faites attention. Parce que nous ne sommes pas seuls sur la scène. Et si les politiques ne sont pas capables de s'entendre sur l'essentiel, d'autres forces organisées le feront à leur place. Et là, ils perdront tous, le pays avec.
Okay, now let's go back. You see, now what that means roughly is where he says, pay attention. We are not alone in this political scene. If the political leaders are not capable, to understand each other or whatever to lead, then there are other organized forces who are the army, will do it in their place. And he says, we will all lose our chances and we will also lose the country. That's what he says. So if you are not, this is what it means, is that if you are not doing what I am saying, me as a president, meaning Macky Sall, then the army will take over, that there is a chance a coup will happen, okay? And then when it happens, he will, with all his crimes and whatever he did, he will run out of the country. Okay, the army is under him. They will allow him. He will bring them to power. And then we have seen this. For example, our recent memory tells us what happened in Gabon. What happened to Ali Bongo. He's out of the country. And now what happened is it's an agreement. In Africa, this happens. It's not the first time. The leader, when he sees that he cannot prolong his stay in power, then they bring the military. The military is always what, they threaten the people with. It's like their weapon, okay? They bring the military to power. They agree between themselves, and that president or whatever prime minister, whoever was the leader, will run out of the country with all his crimes. Okay, this is what happens, and this is exactly what he is telling us going to happen. So now, what is the guarantee? This will not happen to Senegal. So the motive behind for him now, if it was so easy for him that if he wants to show the people of Senegal that he's obedient to the court, to the constitution, then why in the first place that he come and tells the people that he has postponed the election? I mean, he has advisors. He can think twice about what he's going to say to the nation, right? So I will leave you with that, to reminisce with that question, and for you to share your view in the comment section. I really want to hear from my brothers and sisters in Senegal and in West Africa. What do you think? And let us know in the comment section how wonderful it will be, if Senegal is added to the Sahel Alliance. And earlier today, I came here and I shared with you, that actually the Alliance of the Sahel State is a threat to ECOWAS. Now, this is exactly what I mean, because more and more countries, when they see that the Sahel Alliance or this Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are the right one who are really implementing what is originally adopted by ECOWAS, then more and more countries will realize and will join the Alliance of the Sahel States, and ECOWAS will be just nothing, That's what they are afraid of. Let us know in the comment section. Anyways, let's stick to the subject. What do you think of, the motive behind Macky Sall's announcement now? And do you think, as he planned, as he said in that interview, that what he's planning is a coup, an agreement between him and the military? Please share your view and we take the discussion further. Thanks again. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you like what we bring you here, give it thumbs up and share the video with others. Please, let's empower each other with information and knowledge. It will help also our YouTube algorithm. If you want to help us further, you can donate to our PayPal account. You can find it in the description section. And also I will pin it in the comment section. It's a bye-bye for me now. Thanks again. Ciao.